Hello, David from Penny University, and still on this whole issue with the Connecticut gun laws that are basically abusing Connecticut's constitutional rights. And I push and push on this because Connecticut is just a test. They want to see if they can get away with it because they want to sweep it across the nation. But I've got an interesting video clip for you here. Take a look at
As
this.
a father of 5 young children, it's my duty to protect my kids and my family and provide for them. And what this law essentially did was it took away my choices to protect my kids. Because, as we all understand, a deranged individual broke the law. And our solution in the state was to pass yet another law. And I'm disappointed that Quisling, for people who are above 50, they may remember who Quisling was from World War II in Norway. Our Quisling did not show up here, and this is the second time he has not showed up in the northeast corner that he was invited. And he can't field these questions. Because there are 2 reasons to vote for that bill. You believe in it, which I have serious problems with, or you did it for political expediency so you can get reelected. And in my opinion, from my perspective, as someone who has taken the oath to support and defend the Constitution, as someone who has 5 young children and a wife to protect, as someone who is a descendant of a founding father of this country, and the history that I look back to in my own family, I am disgusted with that type of individual. And I would hope that everyone in this state can understand that come January 1st, when most of the provisions of this bill, this law, go into effect, it will turn many of us who are good law-abiding citizens into felons. And here's why. The other side, Mr. McKinney, will tell you, oh, we put in a grandfather clause. As long as you register what you own, you can keep it. That may be true. But I was one of those people who stayed up all night long watching the proceedings on the Connecticut network. And I saw senator, state senator after state senator, and state representative after state representative get up and grab the microphone and say, we're only agreeing to have a grandfather clause in this bill so we can pass it immediately. But don't get too comfortable with owning these things, because we can revisit this law at any time and take them away. So from my perspective, as someone who has served in the legislature, who has taken the oath, and the oath is for life, that when I have people who are supposedly in leadership and authority positions that tell me that my compliance to the law will actually lead me down the path of being in the laws, in the crosshairs of the law, it's put me into a no-win situation. And it's put every single one of us in a no-win situation come January 1st. We comply with the law. As soon as they change it and they promise that they want to, they're going to use our compliance against us. If we don't comply with the law and we take our chances, we're felons. And I know there's no question in here, because Mr. McKinney has decided not to show up again. But I would like to thank you 3 for being here tonight, taking time out of your schedule, and meeting with us. And I just hope that you, as you move forward in your political careers, and everyone that's here in this room tonight, understand that this state has put us in a no-win situation. And we haven't even discussed the economic issues that are involved. And I know for me, from my perspective, and I'll close with this, As someone who has the history here with my family in this state, and my parents, who right now live and work on a farm that dates back to 1816 in an area that our family settled. And my parents are approaching their 70s. I cannot possibly leave my family and my land. And that puts me, Summer, Amber, David, Taylor, and Phoebe, my 5 children, in a very, very dangerous environment. And I'm not even talking about facing criminals. I'm talking about
not just here in the United States, but all over the world. The statistics are overwhelmingly clear. More guns means less crime. That's why the head of Interpol recently came out and said the answer to stopping Muslim extremists and others taking hostages at public places not just here in the United States, but all over the world. The statistics are overwhelmingly clear. More guns means less crime. That's why the head of Interpol recently came out and said the answer to stopping Muslim extremists and others taking hostages at public places is to arm the general public. And the numbers show that states that have higher gun ownership have lower crime rates, while areas like Chicago, New York, and DC that have restricted guns or banned guns have the highest crime rates in the country. Mexico has a total abolition on their citizens owning firearms, and they have the highest crime rate in the world and more than 60,000 dead citizens. The criminals have no trouble getting guns. The reason the power structure wants to take guns is they want a monopoly of power. A disarmed population cannot resist an authoritarian
All right,
government.
so there you go. Now, did Doug call it or what? And this guy's formerly of the legislator, apparently, and has left it for whatever reason. He makes very good points about, hey, you know, you're only attacking people willing to obey the law. People in Connecticut are going to get screwed by this. You guys only did this so that you could try to get voted across, so that you could try to hold on to your pitiful jobs, and that he feels like he's in danger from the state of Connecticut, not from criminals. And that come January 1st, they're going to transmogrify a bunch of innocent people who are law abiding into automatic felons for nothing. Doug, you called it. And it's a pity you're not still on the legislature, because it seems like there's a bunch of hacks doing it now, a bunch of politically correct, just sorry individuals who are looking out for their own best interests and the best interests of the funding that put them where they are. Very pitiful. And as pointed out, you know, I put an extra clip in there of Alex Jones talking about statistics. I am not a fan of statistics. I don't like them. I don't trust statistics. But I do know that, I mean, all you have to do is open a newspaper. Places where guns are not allowed are very violent and very dangerous. Places where they are permitted tend to be a bit more peaceful, because people who would be criminals are a bit more cautious about who they screw with.